Now let's move on to a Nigeria market update. The all-share index down 0.34% today, closing at 34,815.25. Now this represents a year-to-date performance of 24%. Total value traded increased 86% to 4.7 billion. Total volume traded increased 52% to 534 million units. Now, of course, there were gains seen in the likes of Okomo Oil, CAP, WAPCO, Cadbury, and Nigerian breweries. Losses in Dangote, Cement, Total, Julius Berger, Prestige, and WAPIC. Now, joining me to discuss the activity in the equities market is Linus Iwajoku. He's the head team lead research and markets for Diamond Bank. It's good to have you on the show, Linus. Now let's talk a little bit about the results season. Now, starting with the fact that we've not seen anything from UBA, so there's no full year or Q1 results released yet. That stock, of course, hitting a year-to-date high of 9 naira on the 13th of March, and since then it's actually gone down 24%. Now, of course, at 6 naira 85. Is this mainly due to investors being frustrated by the wait period?
Absolutely. I think the investors are becoming slightly worried that up to now, UBA have not come out with their full year result for 2020, their Q1 results. But I think what has actually been delaying their results may be attributed to the size of UBA. UBA is a very big bank with about 20 subsidiaries scattered all over Africa and in Europe too. So trying to consider the size of that bank might, be responsible for the delay that we are seeing the release of their results. But this delay has actually made a lot of investors to become apprehensive, and they're beginning to show their frustration, in the share price of UBA. As you can see today and even yesterday, that the share price of UBA has continued to trend downwards, and today it's closed about 6 naira 85 kobo. I think it would be good for UBA to release their results early enough so that investors will not be worried. But overall, we expect a very good result, from UBA when they come up with their full year 2012 results and even their Q1 results, at least better than what we saw in 2011.
Now, let's move on to Access Bank. That stock has gained 24% over the past 2 weeks. It's still trading at 11 naira, which is below its year-to-date high of 12 naira 40. Now, what will set this stock apart for the rest of the quarter?
Yeah, for us, for Access Bank share, I think if they can quickly, fully resolve all their integration issues in that bank, we'll see that stock, going back to its full year, full year price. But currently, even at 11 naira, I think it's still a good buy for most investors. And Access Bank is a good stock to buy. And with the speed at which they are going and the reconciliation that we are seeing, in Access Bank, we expect that in the coming quarter, it should be a stock for investors to hold. So we expect to see the price moving slightly above 12 naira, but we expect that overall within quarter two, it's going to trade between 11 and 12 naira at the end of the day.
Let's move on to Okomo Oil. We saw Q1 results out, revenue down 35%, PBT down 55%. However, the market today, we saw that stock go up 6%. It looks like investors are still responding to that dividend that was declared, and that investors are trying to tap into that dividend.
Yeah, if you look at the performance of Okomo Oil, which is not significantly, good, so to say, but looking at their corporate action in terms of the dividend they declare about 10%, and if you also look at the one-for-one bonus that they came out with, it's a very good reward for the, holders of Okomo Oil. So we think that this has continued to boost, the stock, despite the fact that the result was not too fantastic. But we expect that in the coming days and weeks, this will begin to wane, and people will gradually begin to exit that stock at 100 naira plus. I think Okomo Oil, is trading at a very high price. I'll begin to see the price of Okomo Oil begin to trend downwards in the coming days when, the investors have fully responded to the corporate actions that we saw earlier in the year.
Let's talk a bit about NASCON. Of course, we saw that stock, that company declare a dividend of 90 kobo per share, which is a dividend yield of 9%, which is, of course, really good. Now stock up 10% yesterday, today up 5.2%. Now, knowing how important good dividend payment is to investors in this market, can we expect to see that stock rally on the short term like we saw with Okomo Oil?
Yes, I think so. In the short term, we expect to see some significant rally in that stock, but we expect to to see that by the end of Q1, towards around May, June, we're going to see some, people taking further profits on that stock, and their prices may begin to, trend downward, because by that time, all the people who are keen in because of the significant corporate actions from that stock, will have whittled down, and people will now begin to exit it, gradually. But overall, I think the corporate action they did, just like Okumo Oil, has continued to attract significant, stakeholders into buying that stock and holding it for a while.
Now, very, very quickly, we saw Dangote Cement yesterday. We saw some profit taken in that stock, of course, after the gains that we saw last week. Today, again, we saw 3.8% down in that stock. So it would be good to know your expectations for that stock as we approach the end of the week.
Yeah, Dangote stock, trading at about $1.85. To us, it's trading at a very high price already, and we are going to continue to see, a lot of profit taking, in that stock. And this mood even has continued to permeate the market generally, this week. And Dangote is a very good stock, but at $1.85, it's a period when investors are likely going to continue to take profit, and this we expect to continue in the coming week. But overall, it's a stock that a lot of investors are willing to hold for a longer period. So after this period of profit taking, we may now likely begin to see people who want to hold the stock, for a longer period.